Tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika,
Well, the AFCFTA is a tool, we could say, that looks to see how Africa could unite economically, socially, politically. So it's a grand aspiration. And MSTCDC, as a Pan-African organization, we're always also looking to see how is it possible to be able to bring all these ideas, all these challenges into one place and discussion at the forefront of people, so that we are moving together towards this continental aspiration. Now, when it comes to inclusivity, what we're talking about usually is around youth, women, marginalized communities, like the disabled, and you name it, people in rural areas. And for TCDC, MSTCDC, that's a very important aspect in terms of how do we bring them also across the journey. So you might know that MSTCDC is part of the ActionAid family, and ActionAid is within 45 countries around the world. And one of the primary areas we look at is women's rights. Now, it's also central to us in terms of seeing how within our programming, we're always looking to see that girls and women's rights are at the forefront of discussion, that they have access to spaces of leadership, to spaces of service. So, you know, it's important. And as well, when we look at youth, we have a very good and big youth program called the Youth Leadership Program, where we see again how we can also engage youth in matters of business and trade, but as well of leadership and being able to have their voice in decisions that, you know, affect them otherwise. So when we bring these two elements together, it's I guess a natural maybe combination, in that we want also a continent where we're recognizing that our youth are the largest population. They need to be at the table for these discussions, for this aspiration to come to fruition. Women are also center to trade, especially when you talk about small traders across borders and things to that effect. You find that it's women who are there working every day and making the small trades. But how do we also engage them and ensure they're benefiting better, and not also leaving them at maybe a small trade scale, but also to elevate them to become big international or cross-transborder traders?
So the project indeed was an idea coming out of conversations between us and colleagues in different sectors, particularly at the continental level players. And when we began thinking around the idea of the AFCFTA Youth Inclusion Accelerator Project, we thought that there is need for a baseline. There are three main findings. First, youth, yes, had heard about the AFCFTA, but only on the internet. And they confessed that they had not been involved or got engaged in the process before. And therefore, they were not, they would say, we have heard about the AFCFTA, but we don't know it. Do you think this CFTA is yours? They said, we cannot say it is ours, because we see that the structures, the formality of the AFCFTA, its framework are extremely up here, and for us we are low here. We also realize that they have not had very good experiences with the regional economic communities, and they were not so optimistic about then this continental huge thing and how it will reach them, since they are very informal and little, or very less on capacity at farm level as well as individual level, in terms of if this agreement is going to be good for exporting businesses. We are not able to export at this stage, and therefore how does this agreement become ours? And lastly, there was also discovery that there isn't enough data on the process and how youth have been involved so far, and therefore we could not find any information on whether youth members of parliament, for example, or even national youth councils where they exist, or any other youth structures, if they were engaged in this process of negotiation, consultation, and whatever is going on now in the CFTA, even in the second phase of negotiations. And in order to address this gap of footprint of youth in the process, one of the major recommendations and outcomes of the study is that there should be an annual AFCFTA Youth Inclusion Index to measure how youth are participating, how their knowledge and interest levels are growing as the CFTA implementation goes along, so that also policymakers, development partners, and private sector can see where the gaps are every year and how to best address these gaps.
The project has been going on well in regard to implementation, especially me as a project coordinator of this Youth Inclusion Accelerator project. In regard to CFTA, we started with regional consultation in January, between January, where we have been having youth perspectives on CFTA, the extent to which youth were involved in the initial stages of CFTA negotiation and consultations. And these perspectives, youth perspectives, informed our further engagements with policymakers, especially the government and other stakeholders. Also we had the virtual consultation on one African market, the youth, the one African market the youth want. And it was amazing hearing the African market they want, the African market with less barriers, which is borderless, which is inclusive, especially for youth and women. And of course, we discovered that there was urge for more information.
And therefore, we had to find the young people where they are. They are on TikTok, they are on Instagram, they're on Facebook and Twitter. And this has really helped us to not only roll out the project initiatives, but also reach them where they are and allow them from all the 55 countries of Africa to participate actively in the project. For example, when we were rolling out the essay and debate competitions, we relied heavily on social media, and the response has been overwhelming. We could see on WhatsApp people sharing the call for proposals, the call for debaters to come in, and so we have really relied on these tools to bring in engagement from young people from across the 55 countries. Secondly, when we were also rolling out the continental study, we had to depend on social media tools. We believe it is not only the first time that we have had a continental study have input from 55 countries of Africa, but also actively had them engage in debate competitions, in essays, and also we believe next year, as we roll out even more initiatives of the project, social media and virtual tools will play a key role in the project implementation.
Tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika.
Good evening, everyone who has already joined. Let me see if you people can hear me. Good evening, Kabala.
I'm doing good.
I hope I pronounce your name well.
Yes.
Okay, that's really nice.
And
so,
can you see?
We can.
Can you see me? Because my video is
no,
on.
I can't see you, by the way. It's dark.
Because also my video is on, but I can't even see myself.
Yeah, exactly. Me too, I can't see you. Maybe you can just try to log off and log in
Again, because I can see Isaac.
Yes. So good evening again, those who are here, those who are on Twitter, those who are following us on YouTube, those who are following us on Facebook. Good evening, everyone. I just want to start giving people to say hi, and we hear where they are. I know my friend Edison from Uganda is here. Edison, I was hearing you. Hi.
Hi, cousin. How are you?
I am good, and you?
I'm okay.
I think I will have to tell Kemi to prepare a card for the most the person who participates most at our ULID Unplugged. Fiona, we should do a card for Edison.
Congratulations. I'll be the happiest.
Yes. Yeah, no, we are happy always to see you, and we know you really engage a lot, so we are very happy to see you again. Good
Yeah, I'm
day.
also happy for you guys.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Franklin.
Good evening, Kazi.
How are you? How is Arusha?
Arusha is fine. A long day in the office. I can't wait to unwind.
Pole sana. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, I see someone from Zimbabwe. Good evening, Moses Semwayo. I hope I didn't murder your name.
Yes, how are you, madam?
I am good. And you?
I'm very fine.
Very nice. Where are you? Are you in Harare?
No, I'm in Mutare.
Wow. Oh, that's really nice to hear. Greet everyone there.
Okay, I will.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's see someone else. Claire Osoro. Good evening, Claire.
Good evening, Kazi. How are you?
I am good, and you?
I'm well.
Tell us where you are following us from.
Claire Osoro is from Kenya.
How is Kenya? Let me see. Are you in Nairobi?
Yes, Nairobi, Kenya.
Yes, I'm not going to ask how is Nairobi. It's hot. I know.
It's crazy hot and humid.
Crazy hot. I am in Nairobi too.
Perfect.
Yes. Let's see who else who can say hi. Geoffrey Kibuka. I hope I pronounced well. Geoffrey, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
How are you?
I'm from Kampala.
Well, that's really nice. How is Kampala?
Kampala is fine, although we are worried about Ukraine.
Oh, I know. We should keep praying and wishing this whole situation really to come to an end. Yeah.
Amen.
Yes.
I hope everyone is fine.
Yes, I hope also everyone at least who is here is fine. Let me see. There is someone else called Stefano Mafuta.
Yes, hi everyone.
Hi, Stefano. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I am good. Where are you following from?
Stefano Mafuta from Tanzania, Dodoma.
Oh, that's really nice. So today we have everyone from everywhere. That's really nice.
Yes.
And then, hey, let's see who is. Lastly, Ngoi Mbeshe. Hi, Ngoi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Ngoi Mbeshfeli. I'm from Malawi, Zaleka refugee camp.
Oh, what is that?
This is in Malawi. It says a camp of refugees located in Malawi.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm from Congo.
You are from DRC?
Yes.
Oh, happy to have you. So it's really nice. Today we have one from here, one from there. So it's really nice to have you guys. And again, as I was saying, I want to welcome also the people who are following us from Facebook, from YouTube, from Twitter, and those who will be following our discussion in the coming days, because these things we leave them on social media and people can go and still follow and listen to the discussions. So I want to welcome our special guest of today. Let's see. Kabala, can you hear me now and see me and see yourself? Very good. You can hear me. Your mic is it's closed.
Technology. Now I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Technology, that's very true. I will not say about Isaac. Isaac, I can see you. I hope you can also hear. Yes, the fact that you are doing this, you are hearing me very well. Wangui Mukami, Florence, can you hear me, see me?
Yes, I can hear you and see you. Very
good. So we have already our three special guests of today, and thank you again for being here. I will just start saying some people will start becoming a bit jealous. We have been having 3 consecutive Unplugged series, and all of them were about Kenya. So Kenya this year is very special. My people who are in other countries, you will be very good to us and patient with ULIT, because this is a year of election in Kenya, and we will have a lot of discussions about Kenya. But it's also not just about Kenya. I learned a lot from one sentence my colleague Fiona wrote when we started these discussions about Kenya. And she was saying, election in one country should also be about election in other countries, because we learn from each other. We are one continent, one region. So what happened in one country can serve also as a lesson to other countries. And as good Africans, as I hope we are all, we hope that each country could really go to elections well and in a very peaceful way. So we will keep having a lot, we will hear a lot about Kenya even in the coming months, even in other ULID programs. So tonight we are going to talk about something we have talked about 2 weeks ago, which is the People's Dialogue Festival. Isaac will tell us what is it, but we are going to talk about it, and something I am very, very much passionate about, because I found that idea is just in Kenya. Unless someone from somewhere else tells me, I think till today that idea is still something I have only seen in Kenya, and is very special, and it's good. So I will start with Isaac. Isaac, you are familiar with this place, but you can still tell us who you are, what you do, and what your organization do.
Thank you so much. My name is Isaac Kinyua from Nairobi, Kenya, and I am a project officer at the Center for Multiparty Democracy. And specifically for this meeting today, I am here as the position of an assistant coordinator of the People Dialogue Festival, and I'm delighted to be part of this discussion. Thank you, Kaze.
Thank you very much. Isaac, can you tell us what is this CMD? What do you guys do?
Cmd Kenya, the Center for Multiparty Democracy, is a dialogue platform for political parties, and CMD is an umbrella where political parties feel at home when it comes to when they're engaging in issues of national concern, and to be able to build consensus. And then secondly, Cmd Kenya is an organization that seeks to promote the institutionalization of political parties, ensuring that our political parties, they have those institutions that are required by law to be able to enable them contribute meaningfully to democratic process in Kenya. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Isaac. I just want to ask our people who are here from other countries, from Uganda, from Zimbabwe, from Malawi, from Tanzania, wherever you come from, is there anything like CMD and platform which put together political parties? You can just type in the chat and we will be reading to see. Is there something, a platform where political parties in your country can meet, can talk, forget about fighting each other, competition and what, but come together for dialogue and for doing things together. Is there something like that in your country? Just type, I will try to read in the comments. Let me go to Florence Wangui. I promised I was going to learn. Florence, tell us about yourself. I am always so excited to have women in this kind of discussions. Who is Florence? I am not hearing Florence. Okay, open your mic. It's muted.
Hi.
Yes.
You can hear me now?
Very well.
Okay. My name is Florence Mukami wangui. I'm 29 years old and the youth chairperson, national chairperson for Young Democrats, which is the youth wing of Democratic Party of Kenya. Yes.
Very good. So you are the chairperson of the young people in the political parties, Young Democrats. Did I say here well?
Yes, yes. The mother party.
Okay. So
you can hear me?
Very good. Let's go to Kabala. Who is Kabala?
I'm sorry, it wasn't unmuting. Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Very well. Yes.
Kabala Kile is my name. And I'm a member of the National Alliance of Rainbow Coalition of Kenya, NaRC Kenya. I'm the newly re-elected National Deputy Chairperson, serving for the second term now. And prior to that, my position was the youth leader. So basically, I joined the party as a volunteer in the IT sector because I graduated with a degree in from Daystar in computer science. So that's how I joined the party, volunteered, started working, and got really interested in politics. Got into the youth league. In fact, it wasn't a youth league then; it was a youth wing. Got into the youth wing. Participated in developing through the help of Kina Isaac, Cmd, change it from a youth wing to a league. Then, by the grace of God, and our party leader, who's very passionate about succession politics and mentoring, I was able now to be elected as a deputy, to be selected as a deputy leader, acting. Then the other day when we had our NDC, I was elected as now I was officially elected as a national deputy chair of the party of NaRC Kenya. And
wow.
I'm very passionate about social justice, human rights, and just equity, treating each other in a manner that is respectful and dignified, because life is dignity and we need to respect each other. So that's basically, in a nutshell, that's who Kabala is.
Congratulations a lot. Yes. Wangui, don't go. I wanted to ask something. After my congratulations to Kabala, now I know, first of all, to be a deputy leader in a political party as a young person is not easy. It's really hard. And that's why I'm telling him congratulations. We are really proud of him and hope he will do well. But to also be a woman leader in a political party, not just in Kenya, anywhere, is not also something easy. How is it? How has been your experience?
It has not been easy. It has not been easy. As Kabala has said, we all start from volunteering in our political parties so as to create spaces for ourselves. So after you volunteer, the second thing is you look for a mentor. And the mentor must be somebody holding a higher position than you. And you keep learning through patience, consistency, and hard work. And also being a member of the party and participating in party activities. So it's about rising from the smallest of positions to the party to getting to the middle positions up to the higher positions.
Exactly. One of the things I would want to ask you too, it's I know people will be watching this and asking themselves, oh, so if I go in a political party, I will not become somebody directly. So you guys, you are telling us, I started somewhere as a volunteer, I had to pass through, there is a process. So if tomorrow I want to become a member of a political party and even have a position, can I not just come and maybe pay something or do something and get a position? Anyone can start. Kabala, I see your mic is open.
It's not that easy because these are positions that, to be honest, in our nation, political parties are treated like private companies, where it's either a club, it's a way. So this club cannot let anyone just get in. You need to be vetted, and I think vetting to them when you're in, especially when you're young, is just being used to do the menial jobs. Go and print this, go and print that. So you have to really work your way up and show the value you bring on the table. And I'd say the good thing this time round is that the older generation are not really good at adept at the IT world. So the IT angle is very easy. It's a very easy way of getting noticed. You find that you do something small, like maybe creating a poster, designing a poster, that the value that it brings is so much in terms of branding of the party that they find the worth. They now start seeing the worth that you bring to the table, and before even if you're not strategic when you're joining even political parties, sometimes you'll find yourself in a political party 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, and you haven't even ever been elected to any position. So it's very tricky, even for me as a young man. But I'd assume I've seen some of my friends, especially the ladies, younger ladies. For them, it's even far much more difficult because of the notion that people have when young girls or young ladies come to join political parties. So I'd say my answer would be, it's not that easy. It's not a walk in the park. It's something that a lot is expected from you that doesn't come with a reward. You work so hard, but no one notices you, no one congratulates you, no one wants to give you the opportunity. No one, in fact, when they see you, no one thinks that you have ideas that you can bring to the table. So you get frustrated to a level that if you're not focused on the goal or the mission, it's very easy to be lost. And that's why you find this time around a lot of young people are not interested in politics, especially active politics in political parties. You tend to find that even when you're having activities, the people that you select, you find you've had 5 youth activities, but there are these 3 youths that you always take to the activities because there are no other youths that are interested. And the quick reward mentality of the generation now makes it even difficult to try and bring them to political parties, because you find they don't view volunteering as an option. It's you tell someone, come join a party, come and do this for us. Let them see you, let them know you, let them understand you. Then you'll find you walk away, you'll politic your way around the political party. But after talking to them, after telling them the situation at the end of the day here, and what will I be given?
Very true.
And the expectations are really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in our party, as unfortunately for some parties, we don't have the political parties fund, so you're strained budget-wise.
No, it's very understand. And I'm just remembering seeing, for example, when we look in some countries in Europe, in US, where you see young people volunteering in their political parties during the election, they are doing a lot of volunteers activities, and they start like that till they get up. So that's a good advice to young people. Wangui, what do you think? Can a lady say, I can just arrive in a political party and get to the top?
Yes, they can arrive, but not get to the top immediately, because they will arrive and become party member first. And then they'll have to prove themselves. And for young ladies, as Kabala has told you, we have to work ourselves 100 times more than even the young men or even the men in the party. For me, I joined the party when I was 19 years. That was when I immediately left high school. And I've been in the party for 10 years now. I started as a youth leader in what I would call like a village or a location. Before I rose to the county, to the constituency, to the county, and to the national level. And being able to sit, and by the virtue of rising to the national level, I'm also able to sit at the NEC, which is the National Executive Committee of the party that makes decisions for the party, and also the apex body of the party, which is the management. It has taken me 10 years. I've been consistent. I've shown up, I've done what it takes, and I've been disciplined. So it is not, you will not come today and get those seats. You'll have to prove yourself, and you'll have to work. You don't have to take 10 years like me. Probably you would be smarter and take 2 years, but probably you will not take one day. It is not a one-day journey.
Very true. I think that mentality of getting things easy, it's something young people we should work on, and know that you want to reach somewhere, you have also to work for that. Let me come back to PDF. Isaac, tell us about this PDF and what is special about this year's People's Dialogue Festival.
Thank you so much, Kazeneza, and I'm delighted to be sharing this session with my colleagues Wangui Mukami and Kabala, and now that representing political parties, I will let them be able to give more insights regarding the PDF. And as I shared last time, what is special about this year's PDF, the first one, the general election, we're having them. So convening this People Dialogue Festival to have an opportunity to dialogue with the national actors as we're preparing for general election, then it is an opportunity for us to put the decision makers in, to question them and get to understand what they will really do in ensuring that, one, they maintain a credible electoral process, and then number two, we promote the manifestos of political parties that are aligned towards the realization of the sustainable development goals. So those are some of the two key things. And then also to mention that this year's PDF will be having different villages. The first village is the village called Nisisi Nisasa. That's a Kiswahili term to mean that it is us and this is our time. And that will be the village for the conversation, the conversation between mainly the high school students and also the university students, but mainly the high school students, so that we can be able to nurture them in the political, not in the political, but in national governance processes, so that they can get to understand what really happens at the national level, and also for the leaders to be able to get the ideas of the young people. How do the young people think and how do they resonate with these times? So we'll be having that intergenerational conversation at that village called Nisisi Nisasa. And then that is within across the 3 days, and then we'll have another conversation at the Political Parties Expo, where the political parties not only the CMD parties are going to exhibit their work and also have those deep conversations on what the parties can really do to ensure that work together towards promoting peaceful elections, towards curbing disinformation and hate speech, and also misinformation that usually resorts to fake media. I know that term is not new to us. So the political parties will deeply, other than showcasing their work, but have that internal conversation on what they can do together to contribute to a peaceful electoral process. And then we'll have another village called the SDG village, the Sustainable Development Goals. Under the CMD Kenya, we are helping political parties to contribute towards politics of development and ideas. And the SDGs is one of the avenues that we want political party leaders, as they develop the policies of the party, the manifesto of the party, then how can we align the party manifesto towards the sustainable development goals, because that is where the attention of the whole world, all nations are towards realizing the SDGs. So how can we bring that SDGs to the national conversation, towards ensuring that the political leaders, as they transit from speaking at each other to speaking to being able to dialogue amongst each other, then we can bring in the aspects of policies that are sustainable and they can contribute towards eradication of poverty. So what I've briefly been able to, and then we'll be having another stage. It's called the amphitheater. So these are 4 stages, and the amphitheater is where, as we call it, the hot seat, where the main political leaders, the likes of the right former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, the former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, Senator Gideon Moi, and also the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, among other leaders, Isaac Ruto. They'll be having a conversation with the citizens, and this dialogue is what enables us to be able to ensure that what the people and what the decision makers have are aligned, and that contributes towards meaningful electoral process. So that is what PDF has in store for this for the Kenyans, and it is our expectation that our brothers from East Africa, they are going to get lessons, and then we'll ensure that those who are not able to follow physically then can be able to follow the event virtually, so they can be able to take part. And then also to remind that this event is open for all. It will be at the Nairobi National Museum, 9th to 11th, so it is open for all. And then I will be having the festival part of it, like the CMD Kenya posters on Twitter, and also the PDF. We have a website. You'll see all those artists who will be performing at the event. So it is really going to be quite a wonderful event, and I know Kabala and Wangui will be able to highlight, or maybe how then they will be able to benefit from the event. Thank you, Kaze.
Thank you very much, Isaac. I think if you are Kenyan and you are here, you have to be there. And if you are not Kenyan and you have Kenyan friends, you should invite them. But even if you are not in Kenya, there will be some sessions online. You will be also able to follow online. I just want to go to Kabile and Wangui. This year's theme kind of is very, how do you call it? Not controversial, but strong. I was reading and I was like, competition and collaboration in democratic development. Is that really possible, especially this time of election? Can we collaborate during this time and at the same time compete? Is something you guys think is possible?
Wangui, you'll go first.
Yes, Kabala. Okay. When we talk about competition and collaboration, as you have said, probably somebody would think that this would not exist in the same sentence. But I would like to draw your attention to, let's call it the youth tribe, whereby somebody like Kabala comes from NaRC Kenya. I come from Democratic Party of Kenya. There are other youths in other political parties in Kenya. And I also want to draw to your attention that political parties form government. So it cannot be lobby groups. So you have to belong to a political party which is going to negotiate power for you. So as youths, you'd find that in a place, let's say if Kabala was to vie in a region whereby I do not have a candidate because I play party politics. If he was to vie and I had my party, I would support my party candidate. But if we do not have a party candidate and I would hear of an organization that is supporting the youth, I would definitely refer him to that. That is collaboration, whereby we might be in a competitive world. Politics is a competitive world, but as much as it's competitive, we know if a youth has a vision and wants to articulate something and wants to land themselves in parliament to be able to pass bills that are going to help the youths, that are going to help the vulnerable people, you definitely help them. You would help them in a way that probably the cameras might not be on, but if you are able to help them financially, you do so. If you're able to give them a few posters, you do so. At the end of the day, it's about the youth agenda being put in parliament. It's about the youth agenda being debated by people who understand what we mean when we say youth, people who have gone through the same challenges. So it is very possible.
Thank you very much. It is possible.
Yes,
Kabala.
and to be very, very possible. You know, political parties form governments, and the aim of any political party is to get power, and exercise power, you know. And I think now where we've reached as Kenya in our democracy, I think we're going the Israeli or the German way, where no one party can win a majority in parliament. So even the first, I think 2017 was the last time, maybe in my opinion, last time a first round win was ever experienced. So now people know that you have to get the 50+1, you need to collaborate with other people. So collaborative negotiation is very paramount for a first round win. And that's why I think even that's why you saw even in our Kenyan parliament, the political parties bill that they introduced a coalition party. Why? Because they knew that as a single party to clinch a first round election is very, very difficult. Now where the collaboration will come within competition is that these bigger parties will be forced to negotiate with smaller parties or even other parties. Okay. There's a day I was told there's no big party or a small party. So I think all parties are equal parties. So let me take that back. But you find all political parties need to find ways and means of working together so that you can get the majority in parliament. And what at fault maybe our principles this time around is that I feel like they're viewing negotiation as a win or lose situation, you know. And I'm viewing negotiation as what this word used in by Cmd in PDF in the team, a collaborative teamwork aspect, where I give my end and you give yours, then we negotiate and work around the areas where our interests are clashing. So I feel if they view collaboration and if they view negotiation as a teamwork, not as something that we are not, it's not that when I gain you lose, or when you lose I gain. No, it's just something we're working on. I think that will make a better situation for us. But I do agree that we can work within this situation. But as I finish, what I've noticed is that now you find that regions are beginning to form their own political parties to fight for their own rights. And I think that's good because the representation also is being brought, it's like parties are being devolved, that you find in a certain region there's this dominant political party, in this other region this dominant political party. So these political parties also, you'll find they'll also be forced to work together within those regions in the interests that they find, so that they can assume power or get to power and exercise power, you know. So I think it is paramount.
Yeah, actually, yes, actually, that's a very good observation, because the way the whole Kenyan political landscape is, and you find, especially with now the devolution and what, so there is need of not just doing national politics, but also doing county politics, and even going down to even constituencies and what. Yeah, so that's really good. So again, as I said, it is possible collaboration while still being competitive, and that should be also a democratic spirit. We can still fight, but we have also to work together. That's not normal. Isaac, you told us, Isaac, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here, Kaze.
Very good. Yes. You told us about what is going to happen this year and what. And as I said when we started, this year is special in Kenya. But really, looking what you have done since 2019 till today, what is about this year's really PDF, and you guys at the CMD would want to see as an outcome of this PDF. I know already spirits are hot everywhere now. What would you want to see this year as an outcome of this this PDF?
Thank you so much, Kaze. And one of the aims of or the objectives of CMD Kenya, number one, is to tear down the staircases that have existed between the national leaders and the citizens, where the citizens are not able to access the decision makers, and also the decisions makers they kind of way do not want to dialogue with the citizens. They want kind of to, you know, impose decisions on them. There are cases where a citizen from Kariobangi can be able to ask a question at the former prime minister and get the response, or maybe a citizen from Mathare North can be able to have a conversation with the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly in Honorable Mother Karua and be able to get that response. And then the citizens and the leaders not engaging, are not shouting at each other, but being able to listen towards each other. So that is one of the things that we really look forward to being an outcome of the event. And then secondly, to ensure that the voices of the citizens are they just do not become voices, but are actually transmitted into actions, where the party leaders, where the stakeholders who are going to engage the event, they can be able to listen at the citizens and be able to make decisions that are aligned to the wishes and the aspirations of the citizens. And then thirdly, to continue creating that platform for dialogue, where political parties, as Kabala has stated, and also Florence, that they are not yes, they may compete, but they are not enemies. They are just competing towards ensuring that Kenya becomes a better democracy and Kenya becomes a better nation. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you very much. For those who have joined, I see people who keep joining and might be asking themselves, what is this PDF? Kazeneza keeps saying, is a PDF document or what? You know, is People Dialogue Festival, which is going to happen in Kenya from 9 to 11 of March at the National Museum. From what time will it be starting? At 9, if I'm not wrong.
They'll be starting at 8:30. The delegates to be there, so that about 9 it is beginning the conversation.
Yeah. Yes, so we are talking about that, and it will be also those who will not be able to join can also follow the discussions online. My question to Isaac was about what is really being special, and this especially at this time of election, where politicians go and they just tell people, talk. They are just talking. This is what we want to do for you. There is no spirit of dialogue. It's so important to see a platform like People's Dialogue, where now people can all sit and talk, and big guys, big politicians can listen to what people, voters actually, and those who are no voters want to say and want to tell them. I see Isaac wants to say something.
Maybe I wanted to throw that question to my friends Wangui and Kabala from a political party lenses, what they consider special about this year's PDF. It will also be good for us from CMD to take the feedback. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's hear.
Okay.
Yes.
You can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
This year PDF is very special. And this is one of the reasons that political parties will be given spaces to exhibit, talk about their party constitution, talk about their manifestos to the youth. Mm-hmm. Because as we said earlier, political parties form government. And we've noted largely that young people are no longer interested in politics. They want to go to TikTok for some entertainment, probably follow the most popular hashtag on Twitter. But we have, as political parties, we'll have a chance to explain to these young people that politics is everything. Politics determines our social and economic lives. It will determine, like when we talk about a county, politics will determine whether in your county, the governor you're going to elect, you'll have medicine in your county. Anybody can fall sick. It will determine whether you'll have proper infrastructures. It will determine the quality of education that we're giving to our children. So we have to tell these young people that politics is everything, and they have to join political parties to actively get involved. Because as we say, youth is a transitional stage. In the next stage, there'll be parents, and their children will need affordable quality education. Themselves, they'll get old, they'll need affordable quality healthcare. So we need to bring them on board and to tell them that politics is not for just a few old people. Politics is about everyone. And if you're of legal age, 18 years and above, if they trust that you can vote for the right leader, you can also be voted in as a leader. Yes.
Thank you very, very much for that answer. Kabala?
To me, networking. And I'm viewing it as just as the theme goes, it'll give me an opportunity to see who I'll compete with and who I'll collaborate with. I go identify Wangui Mukami, I want to work with her, or I don't want to work with her. From a political party's perspective, I think we're able to shine and try to outshine each other in terms of ideologies, in terms of even being in a place where we are challenged by questions from the public on matters, our policies, what we stand on, what we stand for, ideologies, our manifesto. So it helps us even have a retrospective angle of how can we improve in certain areas. I've heard that we have the SDG. SDG is a village. A lot of our political parties lack that aspect in the manifesto. So we're able even to come and learn, to come and showcase our art, to come and get more members. And I think, to me, networking is the most important, because, you know, when I meet a different political party, then we sit down and argue out maybe a point on what do you think about the coalitions that are happening, and what would you add to the coalitions. Through that discourse, I get more ideas as a political party member as to how we can improve on our ideas or in our ideologies or on what we're doing. And also for people, I think, outside of politics, who are not active in politics, who are looking for political parties, if someone is organized enough and comes with, let's say, a raft of questions that you've written down a list of which political, what are your principles, what are your core values, what do you stand for, don't you stand for, it's easier for you to come in and join a political party. Because, you know, for example, our political party is situated in Hurlingham. You find another one situated maybe 10 kilometers from us. So now you find you have all the 60, I don't know how many political parties will be there. I think Isaac will tell us. You find all the political parties are in one village. So you're able to come with your list. Now, start in Kenya. What do you believe in? What are your values? So I think for the people who have already not yet joined political parties, it's been simplified for them to identify political parties that they'd want to work with, they'd want to volunteer. And as maybe adding on to what Mukami just said, the people need to understand that the price of your bread is directly correlated to the political party that you choose. Exactly. These are the parties that get into government and form policy formulations that will rule the country and steer the country forward. So I think it is important for young people, especially, to be consciously and deliberately involved in actively in politics and through politics. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I think the question I wanted to ask is the same Isaac asked, because you guys talked a lot about the political parties expo, and I know it's very exciting on the side of political parties, but it should also be exciting on the people who will be coming, so that you don't need to go to internet, you don't need to go to offices, you don't even need to go to a rally. You can have access to know what is happening, the manifesto of a political party, who is in which county or what, from really in one place. So that's so exciting. Isaac, today we don't have civil society, so you are going to talk for them in this, just to tell us a little bit. We are listening to somebody, we might say, oh, these CMD people just talk about political parties. Will it be there a place for civil society organization at the PDF?
Thank you so much, Kaze. And let me say that PDF there'll be space for everybody, and that is the most important thing. There is no discrimination in the attendance. It is an event that is open to all Kenyans. And secondly, yes, there's a very big space for the civil society to be able to have that conversation and be also to engage with the political actors and decision makers. So there is that big space for them. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. I see we are running out of time, and I don't want to finish without listening to some of our participants who are here. There is a lot of comments which I haven't been able to read, but I thank you very much, Isaac and Kabale, and for those and wangui, yes, to the responses you have been giving in the chat. But there was one question I had asked before: if there is any platform like CMD or People's Dialogue Festival in your country. I think we received 2 answers from one, I think was from Uganda. Yes, Edison said there is, in Uganda, we have Interparty Organization for Dialogue, which has been initiated to create a platform where all political parties can come together and dialogue for the development of Uganda. But it has regarded as one-man affairs cause of some political affairs. Political parties say IPOD is funded by NRM, the ruling party, which does not move toward its mission and objectives. So that means other people don't feel like it's their space. I see also Moses from Zimbabwe said we had Pollard, political actors dialogue, where political parties meet, but it has been dismissed since it excludes the main opposition parties led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa. All those who lost the 2008 election are members. So there are in some countries, but yeah, people have the feelings that it is not a platform for everyone. Now, just want to hear, I see there is already a hand. Ridwani Sadiki, and anyone else, you can raise your hand, and if you have a comment, a question, and we can hear from you. Ridwani, you can open your mic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kaze, and the whole team and the panelists. I mean, this is a fantastic conversation. I wish CMD could have started this kind of an initiative far much early. In fact, we are in the second round of devolution leadership system. Now we are going to the third phase of our leadership system in the developed units. I mean, this is a very fantastic forum where you see everything happens in the counties right now. Now pulling everyone in Nairobi, I think those who will be going there are those who have the capacity to travel to come to Nairobi. So a bigger portion of the people we are targeting will be at grassroots. I mean, how will the TMD have a design thinking approach in terms of making sure the same kind of an event happening in Nairobi happens to all 47 counties? Because we are talking about party manifestos and parties. How are these party manifestos relate to the grassroots people? We have party manifestos generally at national level. We have all the same people who are in those parties are governors, are senators, are women reps at the county level. How is this going to sync to the communities and the grassroots people at the local level, whereby each and every people can understand how parties operate, how parties get members, how members can be of importance to these parties? Because right now people vote because there is voting, and they vote because there is 500, 1,000 given by these politicians. And I mean, right now it will be crazy because we are from COVID-19. Everybody seems to have nothing in their pockets. So right now, people will be voting with their stomachs and not their brains. So if there is a time where we will be losing completely, it is the 2022 elections. So I think CMD has to really walk the talk. And if it is to mobilize resources are at grassroots level. Can they open up and mobilize resources and do these things at county level, right? So, I mean, I've already communicated with Isaac. I have his contact right now. We will have a bone to chew because this has to be done at county level. Thank you, Kaze.
Thank you very much, Ridwan. Ridwan is one of the most active members of ULEAD. So yeah, it's really good to hear from you. Isaac, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Kaze, and I also want to agree with what Sadiki has said. And CMD Kenya, we are open to partnerships, to working with the local actors and ensuring that this conversation really takes place at the county level. And one specific thing that will be taking place at this year's PDF, mainly at the STG village, will be having the county, the Council of Governors and the County Assemblies Forum, the leadership of both the Council of Governors and the County Assemblies. They will be taking part on the PDF, and what we really want for them is to really buy in the idea of PDF, because they are our best ambassadors to be able to ensure that these conversations then they can go at the county level. But we are open towards seeking more partnership to ensuring that the citizens at the local level are able to continue having a conversation regarding the manifestos of their political parties. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Isaac. I think that shows to CMD that this is something people would like to have in even at county level, and it's a very good initiative. Thank you very much, Isaac. Who else has a hand? Edison, use few minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, Kaze. I would like to appreciate CDM for the great work they're trying to put in place under the leadership of great-minded young people like the Isaacs. PDF is something I'm looking at being so great. And if I'm to compare it with what some of us do in Uganda, especially when we are nearing election period, there's what we call youth manifestos. And this is a document where young people have been coming together. They put their issues they want their leaders to work upon, not their leaders telling them what they want to do for them. But it has become a document where, like, you present to political parties and candidates, they signed, make commitment, but at the end of the day, you find there is no follow-up and the work done on the issues put by the young people. So the same to Cmd Kenya. I don't know whether this is a bit different from ours in Uganda, because I would love it to be more of local content, community oriented, and the local community aware of what is happening. Because in Uganda, it has only been the ideas of some people from some civil society organizations, where the local people don't understand what is happening, what is in the paper. And sometimes when you're doing evaluation, you find that people in the local communities don't know what's happening, and the implementation and follow-up becomes a problem. So to Isaac, I don't know whether the local community in Kenya are all aware about what is going to happen, or they have just mobilized the young people to come and celebrate the festival with the issue papers, which are going to be presented to political parties and organizations, which at the end of the day will not materialize to their aims. Or what is their objectives? Why are they intended in having this festival? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Edison. Isaac, you want to go directly?
I also want to invite my colleagues Kabala and Florence to also respond to those ones.
Okay. Wangui or Kabala?
Yes. When he talks about community-based or locally based, we find that in Kenya we have what we call the wards. Those are like politically, those are the smallest form of administration, whereby we have the ward, from there we have the constituency, we have the county, and then the national government. The participants that are going to come from PDF, as much as they come from political parties, these political parties, for example, in Kenya, for you to have a registered political party, it has to exist in about almost 34. Like in my party, we exist in 37 counties out of the 47. So it means we're able to boil down to what is calling the community. And you find that party have structures, and we have people at the grassroots. We have elected leaders who represent the party at the ward, which is the smallest form of political administration, up to the national level. So when a person comes from a particular ward, it means because we can't probably have everyone on board, but the opinion leaders from these wards will come and represent their people because they know their people best. Like leader from Mombasa, he comes from one ward. If he was to come to PDF, he would come knowing what his wards want, which is particularly what a ward in my county might want is not what another ward would want. We have unique challenges. So I would say it's a representation from students, from political party leaders who come from as much as those small political wards. Yes.
Thank you very much, Kabale. Let me put you on hold for the next question. I see Judy and then Farid. Judy, to you.
Okay, thank you, Kaze. And thank you so much for what CDM is doing. But what I wanted to say, my previous colleague, Sadiq, and the other one from Uganda has just said about local community. But I would like to add that if CDM could have, if it's possible for them to hold a pre-event in all 47 counties, having representative in all 47 counties to enable them, the pre-event can take 3 to 2 days to enable the local community first understand, and the local community being in a position to give out their views concerning political parties, to be able to raise issues. And now this representative are the one that maybe will be given an opportunity at the main event to present what they've collected down from the community, because you'll find that maybe there might be not enough funding to enable them to reach every county, but there is a possibility for them to have representatives to hold a pre-event that will be bringing that will add up to the main event. Also, what I would like to add is the representation at the main event. From when you're talking about equality, not is it for young people, for older generation, that intergenerational gap, and also women representation, young people representation. These are something that you have to look upon to, and also I'm looking forward to the event that I might attend, or I might just register and check in, but also they have to create a platform, a continuous conversation that after the representative have collected, they can still go back and say, right, this is what you guys talked about, and we went to the main event, and this were the outcome, to enable the conversation, to enable the people in the community see their voices count. Because at most cases, you find that this event, people just take it easy, like, those are for academics, those are for scholars, those are for particular kind of people, forgetting that there's a raw knowledge coming always from the community, and this is something CDM has to sit down and see how can they connect the raw knowledge from the community to the academic and the scholars' knowledge. Because even the panelists, when you look at when they are organizing for the panelists, how I wish that among the one of the panelists could be somebody right from the community, not a representative, not somebody right from even rural or deep in the community, to come and say, even if she or he will not able to speak in the English language, but he can speak and say. That's my.
No, I get your point, and I see Isaac is noting. Those are good feedbacks, which I hope in the coming years that we might be able to answer and to consider. I know there was some ideas in, I think 2020 or 2021, about some baraza things like that CMD was doing. So I think those are good suggestions. Do you want to say something about that, Kabala, or we take another question?
Those are, thank you. Those are good observations and insight from the members. And these are things that we're working on with CMD. Of course, we'd like to go down to the counties. There's a challenge, a financial challenge, but we're trying to see how we'll be able to do it. Maybe start with regions first, then down to the counties. And maybe it's in the plan. Maybe now, maybe Isaac can tell us this plan when we decided the plan, maybe this year, next year. But in terms of continuity, I believe it is continuous because it's an annual event from since we started, and we've grown. We started with in fact, even when the first event, if you come, the tents of very few. Now we maybe even will start now looking for a bigger venue because of the interest that it has brought. And we're grateful to, as political parties, we're grateful to CMD because that's a form of mobilization for us, you know. So I think, we're working on, with CMD, we're working on going down to the grassroots. So Judy and Sadiki, just be assured we are coming.
Thank you very much. Isaac, you want to say something?
Yes, I want to say that one, let me admit that Cmd Kenya, we cannot be in a position to offer all solutions towards the problems that the Kenyans are facing, and at the same time, the best that we can do is to ensure that the duty bearers or the actors or the citizens have an opportunity to engage and to continue having that conversation in their own specific spaces. And also to mention that PDF is not a one-off event where we have it in March and then we wait for next year. No, but this is just a part of a continuing conversations at either CMD Kenya in our own spaces and even in the actors that are going to take part. And let me give an example. At the SDG village, some students from Kenya, not students but organization representatives, they attended a training in Denmark on the sustainable development goals. So they're using the space of PDF to be able to meet with the parliamentarians and be able to push an agenda that relates to them. And that is what what PDF really offers, that networking. Maybe it will have been difficult for them to be able to get the leaders, but now the PDF, they will have their attention, then they be able to network and be able to ensure that their agendas are pushed. I totally agree with what Kabala has said and what our previous friends have said, that CMD, we are really doing our level best to provide that platform for actors to dialogue, and it is something that we look forward with availability of more resources from our partners, then we'll be able to roll it out continuously to the counties. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see just 2 hands. Use what we have. We are already beyond time. Just use 1 minute, 1 minute. After that, our panelists will make comments and parting shots, and then we conclude. Ambrose, Albert. We can't hear you. Can you speak? Are you able to remove the earphones and just speak? Remove it from the phone or from the computer so that we see if we can hear you. Try to speak. We can't hear. Okay, while you are trying to sort, let's hear from Farid.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Abakar Farid, and I want to congratulate you. This is a nice move, since most of the youth have been used in conflicts for politicians' interest and benefits. Instead of them being used to build the country, have been used to destroy. And I usually tell people that allow the 1,000 shilling and suffer for the next 5 years. So this time, youth, it is our time to realize our purpose. We have to make sure that we are included in the next government, which will not forget us. There are no jobs. We want jobs. Most of the youth are poor. Why? You see, some people are committing suicide, which is caused by depression from not having, let's say, not having a meal on a table, a good meal. So this time we have to make sure that we are together and we come together as Kenya youth because we love our country, and this country needs us because we are the next leaders of this country. So let's build our country, and when we are united, our voice will be heard. So this is a nice move, and I'm ready to work with you, and I will support you 100%. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abubakar, Farid. Ambrose, are you able to say something and then we conclude? Okay, I think he's typing. He might be having some issues with his mic. Let's go to our panelists, just really conclude remarks, and then we conclude the session. We can start with Florence.
Thank you very much, Kazi. Thank you to the participant. Thank you to Kabala and Isaac. And I'm really looking forward to meeting with you at the PDF as we engage more. Those who will not come physically, join us virtually. Let us engage and make it a continuous discussion. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much, Florence. Kabala.
Thank you to CMD, thank you to ULEAD, thank you to the participants for attending and listening and asking very good questions. From me, I'd like to encourage members who will be there to share the links, to share the photos, to share the clips widely, because as you've seen, one of the major issues and concerns from members is that how will we get to the local areas? And at least now we know Kenya, the penetration of internet and electricity is at least is doing well. So I'm saying, so I'd encourage them to share widely, so that the good message goes to the ground, and PDF will save a lot of Kenyans. How? By enabling them to come and interrogate political parties, the priority areas of political parties when they come there, when it comes to leadership and governance, and hence allowing them to be able to join a political party that aligns to their beliefs, aligns to what they think and aspirations and the vision of Kenya, where they like Kenya to go. And also I like to encourage them that coming to PDF is basically, it's a learning process and a joint process. It's a continuous process that never ends. And exposing yourself to this unique gathering of is it major or is it all political parties, will allow you to understand deeper the connection between political parties, good governance, and the price of bread. Political parties, good governance, and and human rights, and why we want you to as young people to be involved actively in politics and through political parties. And as a closing remark, I'd written something down. I'd tell them that, especially now that you're going to elections, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So if you can't measure the successes of the leader, who's the aspiring leader, or the political party that you're thinking of, just know you'll not be able to improve your livelihoods and the governance of your nation. So let's be deliberate with our votes. Let's be deliberate with who we choose and with our future. Thank you, Yuli. Thank you, CMD. Thank you, participants.
Thanks to you, Isaac.
Thank you so much, Kazeneza and Kabala and Wangui and every participant. And yeah, I really appreciate this wonderful conversation that you have had. And my takeaway is experience is two things. The first one is a proposal from Edison, where we develop a tracker tool to ensure that what the leaders commit to is something that we'll be able to put them to task, whether they get into office or not. But come next year, we'll be able to ensure that we question our leaders whether they have committed what they have implemented, what they committed to do. And secondly is to take also I appreciate, I guess, from Judy, who emphasized on the need of us being able to delocalize this conversation. And those are the main two takeaways that I've even shared with the leadership of CMD Kenya, that we really need to act upon them. And then thirdly, to say to all Kenyans, yes, you will see a political leader. Kabala and Wangui, just allow me to say this, call for political rally. You can do is to raise up your hand and say, yes, I support you, but your voice cannot be heard and your voice cannot make any other meaningful impact other than maybe the leaders taking photos and saying these people support me. But at the PDF, you will raise your hand and you will ask a question to that leader. The top leaders will be there. And that is the best way to go. And that is what we continue to encourage in Kenyans. And last, to say this, when the young people attend political rallies, they attend and do not ask for any token. You see, they just attend to leader. But now at the PDF, where we are giving you an opportunity to engage with the leaders, you ask for, give me something to go home. So that is what we're trying to tell the young people. We should get out of that culture and be able to know that it is our rights to demand better from our leaders. Thank you so much. And for those who will be able to attend the PDF, let's meet next week, Wednesday and Thursday, to continue these conversations. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very, very much. Today, I think I'm going with one person who said, let's vote with our brain, not with our stomach, and really and count that 1,000 will not make your 5 years to come. So thank you again. I can't thank enough CMD Kenya and appreciate the work you are doing. I can't thank enough and encourage our friends Wangui and Kabala. What you are doing is really great, and putting yourself out there and trying to change the life of this country through your life is something to encourage. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you to our participants, those who have always come to Unplugged series, those who are following through Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for being with us. We will see each other next week, next Unplugged series. But those who are in Kenya, let's meet on Wednesday. It will be Wednesday, yes. From Wednesday at the National Museum, 8:30 morning. And those who will not be able to join physically, let's also be online and follow. We will be sharing from, I think, tomorrow after tomorrow, or what CMD will be sharing, so that you can also, people who follow UDIT can get information of what is going to happen at CMD. Good, have a good evening to everyone, and let's keep pushing. And somebody said before this, when we started, praying for Ukraine and Russia, so that we can live in a world of peace and security. Good evening to everyone, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Africa, tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika,
Kwa pamoja Afrika, mwishani wote.
From country to country, yeah, we gotta work together. We are leaders now. Aiming higher for the better, together to make our nations greater, by sharing to the power. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, we will lead. Let your dream be a reality. We will lead, let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, listen, together we shape young men and women. With the pillars, with the future, here we are. Let's join together with ability to change communities, with love, with peace, to respond to our need, to call for unity. Africa, hear me cry. Never leave me alone. As I see light in a brighter future, let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and
So you
women.
lead, I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, let your dream be a reality. We will lead, let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, vijana wa Afrika wote waungana, vijana vijana kutoka mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, hata na kati, twaja pamoja ili tufanye nini?